I think it's her father. Why can't they find her pops, man?
Because he's probably dead.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 horror movie conspiracy theories.
Puppeteers.
Puppeteers?
Pop-Tarts? Did you say you have Pop-Tarts?
For this list, we'll be looking at theories about horror universes, connections between films, or larger conspiracies within the movies that extend beyond the surface narrative. Keep in mind that there will be spoilers for what actually does happen in the movies. Did you agree with any of these? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, the Paranormal Activity movies are real. Paranormal Activity franchise. Remember back when the Blair Witch Project came out and everybody thought it was real footage? Well, here's that again, only this time in conspiracy theory version. The theory goes that the footage in the Paranormal Activity movies is actually genuine. You see, the director and the producer of the first film, Oren Peli, apparently made a deal with the demon we see, or don't see, on screen. He filmed its hauntings and showed them to the world, thereby scaring millions and increasing the demon's power. In return, Peli was obviously made a very rich man. Indeed, as of 2021's Next of Kin, the franchise has grossed just under $900 million. And that's just box office figures.
That's not true at all. You know it.
Get over it.
Number 9, Michael Myers is a tethered Halloween franchise and Us.
Once upon a time.
Leave it to Reddit to come up with the most outlandish yet surprisingly plausible theories. One user believes that the universes of Halloween and Us are connected. Much like Adelaide, the real Michael Myers was replaced with his underground doppelganger on Halloween night. This explains why Michael doesn't speak. But wait, it gets even better.
You think they kept him down here?
Maybe. Look at this.
What? What is it?
Some sort of weird harness.
In Halloween Resurrection, it's established that a large tunnel system runs just underneath the Myers house. The entire plot of Us revolves around a secret underground tunnel system. It's entirely possible that Michael's doppelganger made its way up to the surface through the basement, just as fake Adelaide made her way up during the carnival. Also, those coveralls? Come on.
Why the hell you dressed like me anyway? I ain't paying you to be Michael Myers. I'm playing Michael Myers. If them kids come around and see us dressed up in the same shit, you're gonna ruin the whole effect. Ah, damn it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Number 8, Peter's friend was in the cult. Hereditary. This classic from Ari Aster is about a cult that worships the demon Paimon and wishes to grant his spirit a corporeal body. Audiences are only given very brief glances into the mysterious cult, and even then, they're mostly relegated to the climax. But what if it's not just the ending? What if they were actually everywhere the whole time? One Redditor spotted something interesting. One of the men bowing at Peter's feet has long, dark hair. One of Peter's friends also has long, dark hair.
I think I'm having something like a reaction. My throat is getting bigger.
This friend was probably a cult member and slipped Peter some type of herb into the weed to prepare him for the upcoming ceremony, just as Joan did for Annie.
How is your relationship with your son, Peter?
Number 7, Sarah is the killer. The Descent. This movie from Neil Marshall throws viewers a wicked curveball. It begins as a realistic thriller about a group of friends who get lost spelunking, but it eventually turns into a slasher with bloodthirsty monsters. But what if there are no monsters? What if Sarah was the real monster all along? Sarah suffers a horrible tragedy at the beginning of the movie, when her husband and daughter are killed in a car accident. Then she goes spelunking with her friends and kills them all in a descent into madness.
You can get dehydration, disorientation, claustrophobia, panic attacks, paranoia, hallucinations.
Characters explicitly mention the hallucinations and delusions that spelunkers can experience, so it's entirely possible that Sarah was envisioning the crawlers when really it was just her all along. Number 6, the Torrances were subjects of MK Ultra, The Shining. Many horror theories revolve around characters losing their minds. It helps explain the otherworldly events that occur throughout the movie.
Hello, Danny. Come and play with us.
This theory claims that the Torrance family are the tragic subjects of an MK Ultra experiment. For those who don't know, MK Ultra was an illegal program conducted by the CIA primarily in the 50s and 60s. They attempted to brainwash test subjects through various methods of torture and by feeding them LSD.
That is quite a story.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's still hard for me to believe it actually happened here. But it did.
This theory posits that Bill Watson and Stuart Ullman work for the CIA and use the Overlook during its off-season to conduct MK Ultra experiments. The Torrances are their unwilling puppets, and it leads to bizarre experiences and rapid mental deterioration. Number 5, Kurt is working with the facility, the cabin in the woods. It's hard to picture Chris Hemsworth as the bad guy, but we might have seen it without realizing.
Do you want to spend the weekend in jail? Because we'd all like to check out my cousin's country home.
Kurt is the one who leads the gang to the cabin. He's the only one who picks 2 summoning items in the basement. He takes Jules outside so that she can be the first one to die, as ordered by the facility.
This isn't right. We should split up. We can cover more ground that way.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea. Really?
He immediately reverses when the tunnel blows, almost as if he was expecting it to happen. Is it possible that Kurt was working with the facility all along? His death is also curious. Maybe he was double-crossed, but you know the rules. If we don't see a body, they're not actually dead. Maybe it was all a trick to make the gang think he was dead.
I don't think Kurt even has a cousin.
Huh.
Number 4, time travel, the Blair Witch Project.
I would love to hear this right now. I really would.
I'm
but
just
can we
trying to
please
say
go?
that, you know, we have to
I know.
rationally say they might very well go on forever compared to our footsteps.
This movie leaves a lot unanswered, and it's led to countless fan theories throughout the years. One involves time travel. The evidence of this isn't found in the movie itself, but in the supplementary material.
We walked for 15 hours today. We ended up in the same place. There's no one here to help you. That's your motivation.
The movie's original website claimed that all the camera equipment was found under the foundation of the house. Furthermore, the promotional film, Curse of the Blair Witch, claims that the house that Heather and Mike find themselves in burned down back in the 40s. Lastly, Heather is briefly seen in the video game Blair Witch Volume 1 Rustin Parr, which takes place in 1941. All evidence points to the characters going back in time once they enter the mystical woods.
When was the last time you saw us?
Earlier this afternoon. I'm not lying.
It's been 5 days since we saw you.
Number 3, Roman was in the first Scream. Scream. This slasher managed to make the tired slasher genre new again. It did so through some clever meta-humor and the unique twist of having 2 killers, Billy Loomis and Stu Maukers.
Surprise, Sydney.
Scream 3 reveals that this was all orchestrated by Roman Bridger.
It was like he was making a movie.
You. This is all because of you.
I'm a director, Sid. I direct.
We don't know if this was retconned or planned from the beginning, but there are some clues that Roman was in the first Scream. A ghost face stalks Sidney and Tatum while Billy and Stu are at the video store. On the night of Casey's killing, Billy was with Sidney and Stu was supposedly with Tatum.
Yeah, it was.
Finally, when Ghostface appears in the grocery store, his reflection can be seen over a product called Romantica. Was that a subtle nod to Roman's inclusion?
Roman? It was Roman?
Number 2, Kevin McAllister grew up to be Jigsaw, Home Alone, and Saw franchise.
I want to play a game.
We like to picture Kevin McAllister growing up to live a happy life with his extended family, maybe even giving Buzz the odd brotherly handshake every now and then. But we're optimistic. This theory posits that Kevin actually grew up with serious mental problems and eventually turned into the Jigsaw killer.
Yes, I'm sick, officer.
Top! Like, Sergeant easier!
Sick from the disease eating away at me inside. Sick of people who don't appreciate their blessings. Sick of those who scoff at the suffering of others.
The obvious connection is their shared love of traps, but it goes a little deeper than that. Kevin reacts with violence upon witnessing the pizza injustice. He gleefully torments the delivery boy with fake gunshots. His traps are incredibly malicious, and they have serious potential to kill the burglars.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Seems like Kevin has some bottled up issues that are just waiting to be unleashed.
Game over.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Samuel Loomis is in Psycho, Halloween and Psycho. Halloween is a classic, not just for what it brought to the table, but for the iconic characters that inhabit it. Maybe the best of all is Dr. Samuel Loomis, who's played to perfection by Donald Pleasance.
I have the feeling that you're way off on this.
You have the wrong feeling.
According to this theory, the character also appeared in Psycho.
Marion, whenever it's possible, I want to see you. And under any circumstances, even respectability.
Marion's boyfriend is named Sam Loomis, and it's Sam who eventually catches Norman. Maybe he was so influenced by his dealings with Norman that he studied psychology, became a psychiatrist, and turned into the Dr. Samuel Loomis who dedicates his life to studying Michael.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
Yeah, he certainly aged a lot between 1960 and 1978, but hey, studying serial killers for a living tends to age a man.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.